We've all had moments that break us down, searching for light when the world spins round. But in those cracks, the purpose is born, a new way to live when the old is torn. It's more than a story, it's the rise from the fall, a place where your purpose starts to call. With Dr. Stevenson, wisdom takes flight, turning your pain into hope, into light. Collide with purpose, embrace the change. Every story's got a fire in its flame. Tune in, listen, find your way to take life's hardest hits and turn the page. In the podcast, the truth is found. Collide with purpose, let love abound. From heartbreak to strength, the lessons unfold. It's about how we rise, not the stories we've told. Guests with their journeys, sharing their light. In every collision, there's power in sight. It's more than a talk, it's the wisdom we gain through every struggle, through every pain. With conversations that open the door to purpose, to power, to so much more. Collide with purpose, embrace the change. Every story's got a fire in its flame. Tune in, listen, find your way to take life's hardest hits and turn the page. In the podcast, the truth is found. Collide with purpose, let love abound. So come as you are, with your scars and fears. This is the place where the truth appears. Turn your trials into stepping stones. Find the strength to claim your throne. Collide with purpose, embrace the change. Every story's got a fire in its flame. Tune in, listen, find your way to take life's hardest hits and turn the page. In the podcast, the truth is found. Collide with purpose, let love abound. A collision with purpose, your journey starts here. In every conversation, we'll wipe away fear. Find your purpose, let your life ignite. With Dr. Stevenson, you'll find your light.
Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Welcome to Life-Changing Conversations to Inspire Actions. I am Dr. Laxley Stevenson. Some people are called to comfort. Others are called to clarity. But there are those who are called to crisis, to moments when fear is high, time is short, and lives hang in the balance. Tonight's conversation lives in that space because leadership is not always revealed in boardrooms or applause. It is often revealed in emergency rooms, hospital corridors, and silent moments beside a hospital bed. Here, compassion is not theoretical, and courage is not optional. Our guest tonight understands what it means to lead when hesitation costs lives, to care when outcomes are uncertain, and to show up for people at the most vulnerable moments of their journey. Faith Ndambuki is a certified emergency medical technician, a basic life support trainer, and the founder and director of Dial a Care Africa. Her work takes her into crisis most people never see, training responders, supporting patients with terminal illness, walking alongside caregivers, and strengthening systems where minutes matter. Tonight is not just a conversation. It is an invitation to understand what leadership looks like when life is truly on the line. Let us begin. Faith, welcome to Life Changing Conversations to Inspire Actions.
Thank you so much, Dr. Leslie, and good morning, good evening. Thank you for having me in this show. Hope it will be an interactive show. Thank you.
Thank you. It is my honor to have you on, Faith. You know, you're coming live from Kenya. Where in Kenya are you?
Currently, I'm in Machakos County, which is
And
near Nairobi.
near Nairobi. Okay, so you're close
Yes,
to the
yes,
city, the real city.
yes, yes.
Awesome, awesome. So I have been to Nairobi on a couple of occasions, as well as I
Mhm.
have gone to the rural parts of Kenya. So what time is it in Nairobi right now?
Right now, it's 7:28 p.m.
Wow. All right. So we're going to have a conversation tonight, a conversation that I believe is significant, right? We're going to talk about compassion and courage when life is on the line. But before we get into our conversation, Faith, can you tell us a little bit about your early life? What was it like growing up in Kenya?
Uh, I'm a third born in a family of five. We are four girls and one gentleman. And I grew up in the rural areas. I didn't have the pleasure of being in the city, but I grew up as just a normal child. Though I was a sickling as I was growing up, and I grew up with so much interest in caring for people. And every time I would see someone in crisis, someone is sick, I would always want to be closer to them.
Mm.
That is the kind of a child I was as I grew up.
So you have had this inkling and this need and this calling to work with people who are challenged with health and otherwise. So, and you know, faith often calling reveals itself quietly long before it becomes visible. Was there a moment when you were growing up when you encountered illness, loss, or crisis that quietly prepared you for the work you do today?
Oh yeah, sure. I remember when I was growing up, my grandma stayed in hospital for close to 3 years, and she had diabetes, and I could see how my mom was struggling, my paternal grandma, taking care of her, and not being able to ask the many questions that right now I know any caregiver would want to ask. And also at some point, I had my sister who was very sick, and I had in the ambulance, the two of us. And that was quite a redefining moment for me on how I view emergency cases. And I had to feel it like as a relative, as a caregiver at that moment, what others do feel. And even when I had to ask myself so many questions. What can I do to other people who find themselves in such situations and they are not able to help themselves? And another moment is when I have two daughters. One of them was diagnosed with meningitis, and after that, during COVID, I got my last born, and the big girl got post meningitis conversions. So you can see I have an infant and another one who is in a dire need of emergency care. And
Mhm.
I'm one parent to like, I can't divide myself. So I need someone to take care of that child.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You know, faith, those early moments often become the foundation for life defining decisions. And that is what you experience. You know, those early
Yeah.
moments certainly move you into a certain direction. Now, Faith, emergency medical work is not for the faint hearted.
Hmm.
When did you actually realize this was not just a career choice, but a calling that you, Faith, could not ignore?
In the year 2018, I got myself working in a hospital setup in the administrative office, whereby I was mostly in the in the emergency area and the wards, interacting with patients. And often at times that when patient gets into the hospital, the turnaround time when it comes to how they are being attended, it takes quite a while. And you find that probably someone has been rescued by a good Samaritan. They've been brought into the facility. No first aid has been done. So there is that urgency of care and, of course, good care for that patient. So during that time, I just realized how much I needed to go out there and save as many lives as I could. Though, like, you cannot save all, but you can always save someone. Yeah, so that was quite a defining moment, and that's when I chose to go and study. At least I have a know-how, because even though I empathized with their situations, there was little that I could do to alleviate the pain, or rather to prolong their lives, because I didn't have the skills. I didn't have the know-how. So I realized going back to school and gaining the knowledge and the skills is all that I needed to go out there and make the difference.
Mm. You know, Faith, calling always comes with a cost.
Mm.
Is a cost, right? And I'm
Yeah,
sure.
sure.
So let's talk about what did it cost you? No, we're not talking a financial cost. We're talking emotionally, mentally, or personally to say
Mhm.
yes to this calling, to the work that you do. What did it cost you?
Um, I would say that it costed my emotional, because again, I needed to be emotionally stable, because even though you are saving these people, even though you're empathizing with them, you need to be so strong so that you don't lose yourself.
Mhm.
You have to be responsible enough to take care of them and to take care of yourself, because if you don't strike a balance, then you find that there are no boundaries, and you go to the extremes. And once you go to the extremes, you there is a phrase that I usually use, that there is a very thin line between being affected and being infected. So those are some of the things that I could say that they costed me, because again, I always thought like I'm a weakling when it comes to emotions. So I had to invest so much, like I had to make an investment into it. Like, yeah, I should be empathetic but not sympathetic, because the moment I
Mm.
show sympathy, I'm not helping this person. And I had to be responsible enough to do what I have to do when I'm called to do.
You know, Faith, I want you to talk a little bit about the difference between being empathetic and sympathetic. Can you dive a little bit deeper into that, please?
Yeah, you see, now when you're empathetic, is that yeah, you can feel for them. I know, like, for example, let's say, for example, today you got headache. I don't know exactly how that headache is,
Mhm.
how much the pain it is, but I can come there and say, yeah, I know you're going through this, but you're gonna get over it, without now, like, how do I put it, like showing so much emotions. I can come there and start telling, oh, you got this headache. This headache is so bad. You know, I'm not, I'm not really encouraging you, but I'm letting myself be carried away by the emotions of what you're feeling. But when you're empathetic, you just associate with what they are going through. You just want to show them, yeah, I'm here for you. I might
Mm.
not feel what you're feeling, but I'm here. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna, yeah, I'm gonna help where I can.
Mm. So there are limits. There are limits that you must
Yeah,
abide by. There are
yeah,
limits, and that is where the empathetic, as opposed to being sympathetic, comes into play. Now, Faith,
exactly.
once the call is answered and you have answered the call, leadership is tested under pressure.
Yeah.
In emergency response,
Mm,
hesitation can cost lives.
mm.
How did you learn to make decisive calls, decisions when the pressure is intense and the margin for error is so thin?
I would say uh, leadership is not loud.
Mhm.
It calls for calm in chaos. Um, it calls for clarity when under pressure, and that is what I've learned. Like, yeah, I'm under pressure, but I have to do what is right at that point.
Mhm.
because of course we have our own protocols that we follow. But when I get to the scene, what do I have to address? This person is bleeding. I have to address the bleeding first and then do the other thing later. I don't have to come and start now shouting. No, I have to do what it takes me to do and arrest the situation. And that's why I'm telling you that it is calm at that point that counts. You
Mm,
have to maintain your calm and just know that human life matters in that second.
mm. So
Yeah, you
being
don't take a lot of time.
so under pressure, you must be calm.
Exactly.
Very, very,
You
very
have to.
interesting. Very important. So, crisis, and you live in that space. Crisis has a way of teaching lessons no classroom can ever teach
Sure.
us, right?
Yeah.
What crisis has taught you about leadership that no leadership book or formal training ever could? Talk to us about that.
Uh, One, it has taught me that I can do. I have, as a leader, I have to be responsible enough so that even when others look at me, they have to emulate what I'm doing.
Mm,
As a leader, you have to give directions, and to give that direction, you don't. It doesn't mean that you be authoritative. You can just do what you're supposed to do and be responsible enough to take action what is needed. And with leadership, you don't wait for others to do. You do.
mm. So
You
you
don't
you're
just sit there. Don't just sit there and tell people, "Hey, do this. Hey, do that." No, it is about. I usually say that leadership. It's like a web.
and leadership in your business is very, very different because we're talking
Exactly.
about every second can save a life.
Hmm.
And you said it, it's about taking action, about stepping up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so you must lead from the front. You can't just wait for others to jump in. When you see a situation that requires your attention, you're in it,
Sure.
in deep. You're in
Yeah.
deep. So your leadership doesn't stop with you. It multiply through those you train. And we started to talk a little bit about that, but let's dig a little bit deeper. Faith, you've
Mm.
trained hundreds of responders.
Yeah.
What is the most dangerous mindset you've ever seen in emergency care? And what mindset actually saves lives best?
Uh, the dangerous mindset for me is complacency. When
Mm,
you get used to a situation, because most of the times there is this belief of like it won't happen. For example, when it comes to documentation, even if I don't document, nothing will happen. I'll still remember. If I don't document, someone will do it, and you find that at the end of the day, someone doesn't do it, and the outcome, that one affects the outcome so much. And the mindset that saves life is the one for consistency and doing it right, and taking responsibility the moment something feels wrong. That
mm,
is the mindset that we have for saving lives. But the other one, for the dangerous one, is the one when you are so complacent with a situation, so that you are like, oh, anyway, even if I don't do it, someone else will do it. It is at that moment that you're trending on a very dangerous zone, and something can happen that you cannot reverse.
This is not about working in an office environment where you can
No.
pass the work on to your coworker.
Yeah.
The buck stop with you. Stops with
Sure.
you. You got to do what you got to do. All right, Faith. So training isn't just about competence; it's also about character. So,
Yeah.
Faith, when you train someone to save lives, do you focus more on skill or character, and why?
Uh, for me, I teach skills, yes, but I build character.
Mhm,
Skills can be taught quickly.
mhm.
Yeah, I can tell you, like, we are doing CPR. This is how you place your hands on the chest, and someone will get that. But character will determine how that person will act under pressure.
Mm,
In a real emergency scenario, the character that is shaped is about the courage, the calmness of that person during that moment, and the accountability. So that turns the training into action.
mm.
So yes, I teach skills, but I build the character.
So it's a combination. It's a combination of
It's a
both.
combination.
Because even with all the good character in the world, you must possess the skills necessary
Exactly.
to
Sure.
do the work. And the character
Yeah.
is just as important because character will determine whether the person will show up or not to do what
Mm,
they're trained to do. Indeed.
yeah.
All right. So let us talk a little bit about something that is big in your life, in your world. Dial a Care Africa and terminal
Yeah.
care. You know, your work takes you into the most sacred and painful spaces of life. So,
Yeah.
Faith, talk to me about Dialogue Care Africa, you know, and what you do. And what did you see in the healthcare system that convinced you that something had to change?
Uh, Delacare was born out of like I saw the gap between patients with terminal illnesses as they navigate hospital corridors, and some of them are weak, some of them don't have relatives to help them around. And then I thought, like, what can be done to bridge the gap? And when I saw patients facing terminal illnesses, navigating the system that are not efficient, and even if they're efficient, they don't have or know how on how to do it, is when now I came up with that idea of Delecare Africa Medical Navigation, where we are able to link up patients with facilities and also offer patient companionship care, whereby, yes, you have your clinic today, we are able to accompany you to the facility, we are able to do the administrative, we do the paperwork for you, we take your lab results from point A to B, and that one, it brings a lot of calmness and easiness to the patient and also the relatives.
Mm.
Yeah.
And, and a critical piece is you're working with patients or facing terminal
Mm,
illness.
sure.
Mhm. That's a critical piece. Is Dialogue Care Africa a for-profit entity or is it a NGO?
It's for both.
It's for both. Okay, so there's a
It's for both.
component there. How
Yeah.
are you? How do you fund Dialogue Care Africa? How do you receive monies to operate the organization?
Uh, Delicate, most of the times that we have clients who do pay,
Hmm.
and when they pay, that is what we use sometimes to pay maybe the stuff that I use to help the patients navigate. Sometimes you come across cases that you find that the client cannot pay completely. This patient needs help, and they are not in a position to do it. So you have to do what it takes for them to be helped. So sometimes I have friends who come on board and they chip in and they give donations toward the
Hmm.
same. And when I can't, there are times I have to get into my pockets and do it
In your
because you
pockets.
find that, yeah, there are times that we accompany a patient to the hospital and we have to provide them with a meal. So
Mm.
sometimes you have to cook that meal and be with them and remember it's a whole day. It's a
Hmm.
whole day affair because you also want to make them feel comfortable. So
Right.
yeah.
Mm. So there is a money making component, but the monies that you make is sometimes used to take care of the patients who cannot afford to pay. So in other words, what I'm hearing is that you don't really refuse patients, you take them on.
Yes, yes, yes.
Awesome, awesome. Well, continue to do the work you do there. That is essential thing you're doing in the society that you live in that ecosystem, because there are so many individuals who are not able to afford healthcare in Kenya and everywhere else for that matter, not just Kenya. That is a global problem, right? So,
Mhm.
what is interesting to me, Faith, is that your organization, you're working with people at the end of their life. And
Yeah.
that I imagine requires a different kind of strength. How, Faith, how do you sit with people who are facing the end of life without losing your own emotional grounding?
Dr. Leslie, I will tell you this. I don't try to fix what I can't fix,
Hmm.
or rather, what cannot be fixed. I focus on the process, and I've learned grounding comes from acceptance. I accept what they are going through, and I accept that there is nothing much that I can do. So I'll only try and do what I can do. I draw boundaries, and yeah, I live with that purpose. And I remind myself that being calm and during that situation, because I know, like another person, I'm a human being. I have my moments to break down, but I remain calm. I remain honest with myself and also with them, and I show a steady form of care to them, to both the patient and the relatives, and I carry the empathy that
Hmm.
I carry it as an as a not as a ownership. I don't own it, but it is an outcome of the care that I give.
Mm.
Yeah, the
Mm.
empathy, I don't own it completely. It's the outcome of the care that I give.
So your professionalism, really, you rely on that heavily. It guides you
Exactly.
in,
Yeah,
because it's easy to fall apart and to get caught up
yeah,
in a situation, to see someone, and it is very likely that you become attached to your patients as
yeah.
well. Yeah. So.
But I must also admit to you that I myself, I also have to go for therapies.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have to. I usually go to therapies and I open up to different people that I open to. And if I feel that a situation is overwhelming, even after attending to a patient,
Mhm.
sometimes you lose them. You save some, you lose some. So
Mhm.
that is a very important thing that we have to admit that even us ourselves, we need help and we must seek it.
Mhm.
We need to remain relevant in this profession.
And I'm glad you brought it up, because behind every patient is a caregiver, and caregivers, they carry a silent burden. They
Yeah,
carry a silent burden. Caregivers often carry trauma quietly.
yeah.
What is the emotional truth about caregiving that society rarely acknowledges?
Society, first of all, I want to tell you something that I've realized over a period of time. Uh, a relative is not ideally a caregiver, even though they are primary caregivers,
Mm.
and they carry those silent battles, and they grieve silently, something that society overlooks. And long before the loss happens, you'll find that the caregiver is grieving, but
Mm.
nobody understands. They just see them carrying that strong face day and night. They just see them uh, taking care of that patient without knowing the emotional turmoil that they are going through. They have their own fears. They are exhausted, and what you call anticipatory grief lives with them and works with them every day. And the society will only praise the sacrifices. Often at times you'll hear someone say, "Oh, so and so is really taking care of that their relative," but they don't know what the person is going through. They don't provide that space for the caregivers to be seen, to be supported, and to be emotionally held. Because
Mhm.
the moment you praise them, everything ends there. but we don't sit with them during their silent moments and just let them be.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's powerful. I think this is a good time for us to take a quick break, and then we'll come back. We'll continue our conversation. Is that okay?
Thank you. All right.
Okay.
I'm a boy kid, I'm a boy kid. I'm a boy kid, I'm a boy kid. I wake up in the morning and I praise the Lord. I thank Him for His protection, and I walk in His steps, declaring that today's provision is set up for me. I love God and I love my friends. Yeah, I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid. I put on my armor and I read His word, blessing come out of my mouth. Cause I know to whom I belong, I am bold for Christ. Holy Spirit dwelling within me, carrying His presence wherever He sends me. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. Loving others as He told me to pray for healing, miracles to see, knowing my identity in Christ, He is in me. I am a bold kid, He loves me, standing firm on His word, proclaiming everything I heard, not afraid because He is with me. Be bold. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. Put on my armor and I read His word, blessing come out of my mouth. Because I know to whom I belong, I am bold for Christ. Holy Spirit dwelling within me, carrying His presence wherever He sends me. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid.
Welcome back to Life Changing Conversations to Inspire Actions. I'm having a conversation with Faith Ndambuki, and we're talking about leadership, compassion, and courage when life is on the line. Welcome back, Faith.
Thank you.
All right, so let us talk a little bit about mental well being and caregivers, right?
Yeah,
Because,
sure.
as we said earlier, every patient is often given a caregiver, and you explained that very well about
Mm.
caregivers. So, what I would like you to do is to pick up on that conversation, and let's talk a little bit about support in crisis.
Yeah.
Because support must also, even crisis, must also protect dignity. So,
Yeah.
Faith, how do you and your organization help families navigate hospitals, uncertainty, and grief while still preserving dignity and humanity?
Um, that is quite a very sensitive question, Dr. Leslie, because here we are talking about terminal illnesses, we are talking about end of life care,
Hmm?
which is inevitable. And one thing I do is to guide families with clarity, honesty, and communication. Those components are so key, and with respect, always respect the family and the caregiver, the patient. You have to respect their wish. If they don't want their issue being talked about, don't talk about it. That is one
Hmm.
thing I keep on telling people. And over a period of time, what I've learned when I'm taking care of a patient with terminal illness, most so some of them who are facing end of life, you don't discuss with them about their illness at that point.
Hmm.
Or even another patient who is facing terminal illness, don't sit with them and start discussing about their sickness. Try and divert that to a more positive conversation.
Mhm, mhm,
Just try to find out, like, if with the current situation, maybe the current events in the country, something you might also be able to find out what they love doing mostly, engage them at that level. And while at it, and you are helping that family, it is important to know that as you help them to make such decisions when it comes to end of life, you must do it with a lot of professionalism.
Mhm.
We normally say that in the patient's charter, their reports and their medical history remains confidential.
Mhm.
It is not for you to disclose important information to every family member who comes your way. No, you're not protecting them.
Mhm.
You are not upholding the the medical kind of you're not upholding professionalism at that point, and you'll find that you are hurting the families more. You are hurting the families more. So I would say that emergency and end of life care is not just about treatment.
Mhm.
It's more about presence and preserving humanity when it matters most. And it is at that point it matters most.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, it is at
Yeah.
that point that it matters most.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so to suppress your emotional state and focus more on, I mean, the professional that you're sworn to be is so important.
Yeah, and I usually tell people you don't need to say anything. Just stand
Mm.
there.
Mm.
Your presence will be felt.
Stillness is powerful at times.
Exactly. And the still waters run deep, right?
Mhm. Absolutely.
So does your
Absolutely.
presence there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And if you're a person like you and you've never had this experience, you're new on the job.
Hmm.
What a and what a enlightening situation to be in.
Uh, Allow me to give you an example.
Hmm.
While a student, I was an intern in a major referral facility. And there is this patient that every time I would come in, I would go and see. But that day, things changed because I found they have transitioned.
Hmm.
And their relatives had not come, though they had been called. And
Hmm.
as usual, when they came, the first person they were used to seeing is me.
Hmm.
And when I saw them, I broke down. And there was nothing that I could do because at the end of the day, I'm a human being too.
Hmm.
But someone just who is experienced in the field had to take me aside and talk to me and told me, yeah, you can empathize with them without getting so much attached. They
Hmm.
need they need you because at the end of the day, you also need to take care of emotions. How many patients are you going to see in a week? Many. Some will make it, some will not make it. And if each patient goes with a part of you, then you'll be crossing the thin line.
There would be no more you. you that would
Yeah,
be it. Yeah, some will make it and some won't. So that's just a stark reality.
yeah,
That you
yeah,
in your business, that's what you deal with.
exactly.
And
Yeah,
then you after work you must go home and you have a
yeah,
family at home.
sure, sure.
Mhm. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
So
really,
go ahead.
it really, like I told you in the beginning, there is that thin line that I keep on telling people. There is a thin line between being affected and being infected, and this is what I mean by it. You've had things like gastritis, you've had things like hypertension, diabetes, all those things. There are some illnesses that will be triggered by your emotions
Hmm.
because, for example, let's say that I'm so much attached with the emotions. Just excuse me. Shut up. You're so much attached with the emotions that you are not going to eat. So what happens? As you try to attend to that patient, you're going to faint. And once you faint, somebody asked to attend to you. So instead of attending to that patient, someone else now starts attending to you. So it means that you've crossed the thin line from being affected to being infected, and that is what we don't want. Yeah.
Yeah, infected is where you don't want to end up. I take
Yeah.
it. I get that. Thanks for sharing that. Thanks for
Yeah.
sharing that. You know,
Yeah.
Faith, there are systems, then there's advocacy and impact. So
Yeah.
beyond the individual moments,
Yeah.
it is systems will shape outcomes.
Yeah.
So, Faith, in your view, what is the
Yeah.
greatest failure in pre-hospital care and referral systems? And in your opinion, in your
Mm,
professional opinion, what must
mm.
change immediately?
Um, Quite again a sensitive question, but that is the reality. We have failure in the systems, and this is what I've realized, that patients move through emergencies without clear coordination, without shared information or accountability. Most of the times you'll find a patient and you'll ask them, what has the doctor said? And they'll tell you, the doctor has not said anything. So it means that they don't have a clear information of what is happening to them.
Mm,
Yes, and most of the patients, they don't know that they have right to information. They have right to ask questions. Like, if you come to me, you unwell, it is my responsibility to explain to you what is happening to you and what should be done to you. But that doesn't happen. So I think what must change immediately is the real-time communication. Real-time communication, because if we get real-time communication, we'll avert so many things and have structured referral pathways. If we are communicated, this patient needs ABCD, we refer to the next facility that is able to handle that case. So no patient, so that we don't get in patient lost in between the scene, the ambulance, and the hospital when it comes to emergency care.
mm.
Yes,
Communication is always critical in everything we do.
exactly.
And
Yes.
no more so in a situation where
Yeah,
lives are at risk. Our lives
exactly.
can be safe. Communication is critical. So,
Yeah.
Faith, impact is not only measured by lives saved, but also by
Mm.
systems transformed, right?
Yeah.
So, when you think about long term impact, what
Yes.
legacy are you intentionally building through Dial a Care Africa? What legacy are you intentionally building?
I'm building a legacy where the access to emergency care is guided.
Mhm.
It's so clear that it's crystal clear of what is needed to be done. It is well coordinated, and it upholds human morals. Like, yeah, we are safeguarding human dignity through that. And through Care Africa, we are strengthening the medical referral system, whereby the patient will not be lost in between. Because when we are doing the medical navigation, the patients are able to arrive to the right care faster. The systems work together better, and dignity is preserved even in crisis. That is what we are upholding as Care Africa.
Mm. You
Yes.
know, if not Dial a Care Africa
Yes.
and training responders, and
Yeah.
what would Faith be doing right now?
Saving lives.
Nothing would change. You would still be saving lives. There's
Yes.
no other career path for you.
No. I trained as a teacher. It's interesting. I trained first as a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
but getting a job in a hospital facility changed everything.
Mm.
So in my next life, I would still want to save lives. I would still want to touch lives.
Well, if I may, let me add that you trained as a teacher and you're still a teacher because you're teaching
Exactly.
other people. So your training as a teacher served you well.
Sure, sure. It gave me foundation for so many things.
Absolutely. It's just see, teaching. I think often we see teaching or being a teacher as a in a classroom.
Mm-hmm.
We are a teacher as well as we're all learners in life,
Yeah,
and we're
yeah.
teachers in life, and so it's just a matter of how you apply the application, how you
Mm-hmm.
apply your teaching skills, and clearly you have done that very well in your chosen field that you're called to. So
Mm-hmm.
let as we're approaching the end of our conversation, I have a segment here. I call it quick fire questions. So I'll ask you the question, and then you just give
Yeah.
me the first thing that comes to mind. Right?
Okay.
So Faith, crisis or comfort, which one truly reveals leadership?
Crisis. To me, it's crisis.
Crisis. Awesome.
Yeah.
Compassion or competence, which matters more when lives are at stake?
Uh, Both of them matter because even though you're compassionate, you should also be competent in what you're doing. You must do it right.
Or they have the equal weight, or is one more heavily weighted?
Pardon?
They have equal weight, or one
To
is.
me,
Mm-hmm,
I wouldn't say that they have equal weight. I would
mm-hmm.
say that they, what do you call it? They go hand in hand
Okay.
because even when you're doing it confidently, you must do it with compassionate. You must be compassionate.
All right. So Faith, here's this one. If
Yeah.
you could change one thing in emergency care today, what would it be?
The referral systems.
Why?
Because I feel like our work focuses on reducing referral delays and missed handovers. So I will do that by creating clear navigation and communication pathways.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So Faith, this is what I would like you to do for me. I
Yeah.
want you to look into the camera, and I want you to speak to one person, that person who you credit for who Faith is today and who Faith will become. I want you to talk to that person and tell them how you feel.
Well, one person.
One person.
Wow. Wow. Can I talk to two?
Let's start with one.
Okay. I'll credit my former boss who saw the potential in me and gave me the opportunity to go and study. It was not easy to navigate between work and school.
Remember, you're talking to the person or talk to them.
It was not easy for you as a boss to allow me to get those hours, but you still had to do what had to be done because you saw potential in me and you saw what laid ahead of me. And I remember the question that you asked me one day: where do I see myself 5 years from the time you're asking me that question? And last year it was 5 years from the time that I began it, and I'm proud of where I am. So thank you so much, Madam Maureen, for that.
All right. Now you can talk to the second person.
And to the one Mr. Gordon Bates is a director of Radio EMS Africa. I'm so happy that you gave me opportunity to feature in one of your radio shows, and you built my character from that point, and you kept on encouraging me to keep on going. And even as it is now, you're always rooting for me. So thank you so much, sir, for that.
Awesome. And I say thank you to both of them for what they did for you. So now you're doing it for others. So we credit them and we honor them both for that. So, Faith, we're getting ready to wrap up. Is there anything else you would like to add to the conversation? Maybe I didn't ask you a question, or but anything else you'd like to add? This is the opportunity for you to do so.
I would like to speak to caregivers. It is okay to feel overwhelmed. It is okay to feel those emotions. Remember, before you are a caregiver, you're a human being. We
Mm.
see you, we hear you, and I just want to tell you that if no one told you this, I appreciate you for the work that you are doing. Uh, I want to applaud you for taking care of that patient who is at their vulnerable moments, because without you, they could not do all that. So for me, is God bless you. Keep doing it, and keep holding on. And to the patients who are battling terminal illnesses, the battle is not over. You're stronger than you believe, and just keep that positive mindset. Every day is a blessing. Every moment that you live, just remember that you're conquering, and things gonna be all right. If not today, tomorrow is still another bright day. And thank you so much for Coalition with Purpose for this opportunity. I would say that you are creating such a platform whereby minds are shifting, and we are living with a purpose, of course. And like you kind of opened my mind, and the other I found myself over a couple of days just thinking about padlock,
Hmm.
the padlock itself. There is the padlock, the lock, and there is the key.
Hmm.
So are we ready to unlock our mindsets? You cannot shift when your mind is still locked. So kindly live with the purpose, unlock the potential in you. Thank you.
And you know, Faith, you know, what is so powerful about the padlock is that you have the key.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, so it's really a matter of being proactive in your life and
Mhm.
making that decision that I am no longer imprisoned by anything or anyone, and especially in my mind, right? So that is another conversation. So,
Yeah.
Faith, as we close, and to
Yeah.
anyone who's listening and watching this
Mm,
broadcast,
yeah.
one truth should remain very clear, and that is crisis does not create character, it
Mhm.
reveals character.
Sh- Sure.
Leadership shows up when decisions are hard, and I've been listening to you, and it is evident that it's showing up in your life. Your leadership shows up because of the work that you do, and that compassion shows up when outcomes are uncertain,
Mm,
and you work in an environment where outcomes are always uncertain.
mm,
Courage shows up when there is no guarantee, only responsibility.
yes.
And to anyone out there listening again, what we have heard tonight is not a story of titles or recognition. It is a testimony of service, resilience, and presence in moments where humanity matters most. I want to extend my sincere thanks to you, Faith Ndambuki, for sharing your journey, your courage, and your unwavering commitment to life centered care. Faith, understand and know that your work reminds us that leadership is not always loud, but it is always costly.
Yeah.
And this is exactly why this space, a collision with purpose movement, and life changing conversations to inspire actions, exist. We don't have passive conversation or passive listening. Everything we do here is about purposeful movement.
Mm.
So, unless you have something else to say, I'm going to say goodbye. You have the last word?
Thank you so much again for having me. And I would still want to thank Elizabeth Sitterer for having me. She has been my friend for the longest. Even when I was a teacher, when I was training as a teacher, she inspired me a
Mhm.
lot, and she walked the journey with me. She's one girl she's a strong woman, and just to say that we are here, we'll still keep on having this conversation. I'm so passionate about mental health, more so when it comes to patients with terminal illnesses and the caregivers. Let's keep it locked here for more informative segments to come.
Awesome, awesome. Again, so join me next week as we continue these conversations that challenge, awaken, and call us to act. Until then, good night. Until we meet again, blessings always.
Blessings.
We've all had moments that break us down, searching for light when the world spins round. But in those cracks, the purpose is born, a new way to live when the old is torn. It's more than a story, it's the rise from the fall, a place where your purpose starts to call. With Dr. Stevenson, wisdom takes flight, turning your pain into hope, into light. Collide with purpose, embrace the change. Every story's got a fire in its flame. Tune in, listen, find your way to take life's hardest hits and turn the page. In the podcast, the truth is found. Collide with purpose, let love